y'all? It's Quijuandas. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I took a little bit of time off to get my mommy situation situated, and today I am back to share my birth story. Y'all know I'm not a long intro type of girl, so I'm gonna get right into it. But before I do, please subscribe if you haven't and tap the bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. So this was my birth plan. And to sum all of that up, I wanted a natural, unmedicated childbirth with no medical interventions unless absolutely necessary, and to bond with my daughter immediately after delivery. I'm not a big fan of hospitals, so initially I wanted to have her at a birth center, but the midwife didn't have any openings available for my due date month. So to prepare myself for a hospital delivery, or really delivery in general, I first and foremost wrote out my birth prayer to make that thing plain so me and Jesus could be on the same page. We took a natural childbirth class to pretty much eliminate the fear of the unknown. This was our first baby. We didn't really know what to expect. I used a birth ball throughout my entire pregnancy, and I practiced relaxation techniques and pregnancy affirmations to shift my mindset about pregnancy from a negative to a positive one. Now, for how it all went down, I'm gonna take you back to my last OB appointment. My last OB appointment was Friday, May 24th, and I was due the following Monday, May 27th. At my appointment, I was 2 centimeters dilated. Now, I had been around 2 centimeters for a couple weeks, so I felt a little bit disheartened because I didn't want to go overdue and I didn't want to be induced. I had an induction scheduled for June 6th just in case, and I pushed that date out as far as my OB would let me. So before the appointment was over, I asked my OB for safe ways that I could naturally induce my labor. She ran off a few ways, and of the ways she mentioned, I hadn't tried nipple stimulation. So I got home, researched it, and saw that I could do it with a breast pump. I got a breast pump free through my insurance at work, so I was good to go. I got up Saturday morning, grabbed the breast pump, and I stimulated my breast for an hour, but not an hour straight. I did it in 15-minute intervals. So did 15 minutes on one breast, rested for 5 minutes, did 15 on the other, rested, 15, rested, 15, then I was done. So I really did 30 minutes on each breast. I hope that makes sense. During that 5-minute resting period in between, I would immediately have a Braxton Hicks contraction. So I figured, hey, this must be doing something, but I didn't want to overstimulate. So I only did it once Saturday morning and then again Saturday night. I woke up Sunday morning feeling real different. When you know, you know. I was having contractions throughout the morning, but they weren't the normal drink water, switch positions, and I'll go away Braxton Hicks type contractions. These had a different rhythm to them. And I knew deep down in my heart of hearts that something was about to pop off, and I had a long day ahead of myself. It was the day before Memorial Day, so y'all know how folks were cooking, but I didn't want to be in labor at the family function. So I told Boo, go ahead, go without me. It was right up the street. I'm not in any pain, but don't get comfortable. A couple hours after he left, so did my mucus plug. Or it could have been a bloody show. Could have been both. I don't know. I still don't know the difference between the two. So I called him, told him to make me a to-go plate and head on back to the house. From there, I just labored on my birth ball, watching TV, focusing on my breathing, you know, all that cute stuff. My contractions really started to pick up around 8 p.m. So I thought I was going to hop in the shower for a little water relaxation, hoping to relieve some of the pressure off of my back, but no. I believe the shower actually made my contractions come on stronger and harder. After I stepped out, they would not let up at all. It felt like they were coming back to back to back. I tried to lay down and rest, but no. My inner animal surfaced and the primal noises started to kick in real heavy. Around 10, Boo was like, nah, let's head to the hospital. Worst car ride ever. We got to the hospital around 10:15. They checked me and I was only 4 centimeters dilated. My heart hit the floor. I just knew I was further along than that. They actually admitted me, but my water hadn't broken yet, so I asked the nurses if I could be discharged and go back to the house to labor in a more comfortable environment. My OB was on vacation, so they called the on-call doctor, and he was a complete butthole about it, but ultimately, this was my birth, my decision. They checked our vitals. Neither I nor the baby were in distress, so I signed myself out and told the nurses that I would be back. I just felt more comfortable laboring at home since I didn't want any drugs. They completely understood, gave us the direct line to the nurse's station, and told us to call when we were on our way back. We got back to the house around midnight, and I told myself that I would labor until 5 a.m. before heading back to the hospital if my water did not break first. 4:45 rolled around, my water still had not broken. My contractions were never consistent in length, but those bad boys were constant. I looked at Boo, told him, hey, it's time to go. We called the nurses while we were on our way, and by the time we got back to the hospital, the second shift already had the room set up and ready to go. So shout out to all the nurses out there, because y'all are the real MVPs. Seriously. They checked me around 5:30 and I was 6 centimeters dilated. I felt so defeated. Meanwhile, the nurse who was hooking me up to the wireless fetal monitor was having issues getting the thing to work, and I started getting irritated because my contractions were a lot stronger and she had me laying on my back. So she told me to stand up so she could try to put the little patches on me that way. She finally got the thing to work, and I looked at Boo and I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna make it without the drugs. So he prayed and told me that I would, like the supportive doula that he was. And after a few moments, I felt a sudden urge to like push and bear down, and like I was losing control of my bowel. So I announced to the room that I was about to poop myself. So the nurse told me to lay back down on the table so she could check me again. And I went from 6 to 10 centimeters in less than 30 minutes. I could not thank God enough. The on-call doctor hadn't made it yet, and to be quite honest, I didn't want him to make it because I asked God for a supportive birth team, and he had put a bad taste in my mouth from earlier, so there's that. They tried to give him a few more minutes, but my body was like, nope, sis couldn't even get a glove on good. I pushed once, my water broke. I pushed a second time, and she was here. My prompt little princess arrived on her due date at 6:15 a.m. I had a 2nd degree tear, and the on-call doctor walked in as I was being stitched up. Won't he do it? So that is my birth story. Childbirth is unlike anything I have ever experienced. It was a lot. Quite intense, might I add, but overall, I would say that my experience was a positive one. Thank you to my support system, and to those of you out there who prayed for me and sent well wishes, claimed and believed God for it all, so thank you. Now for the moment y'all probably been waiting for. Let me go get her. Oh, big girl. Oh, my legs popped. I have a very special guest. This is my daughter, Eden. She is 7 months. She'll actually be 8 months in a couple days. She's a solid 22 pounds, but no body shaming. She has a couple teeth. She's rolling everywhere, pulling up on everything, crawling, and growing entirely too fast. I read somewhere that kids are like your heart walking around outside your body, and they ain't never lied. This here is a different type of love, but I'm done being mushy with y'all. Thank you for watching, staying, stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with all your people. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. You sleepy? Say later. Say later real quick. Say later. Say later. Later. She don't want to. Oh, there you go. Later. Later. Go eat it. Go eat it. Freak it down, freak it down, freak it down. Freak it down, freak it down, freak it down. Freak it down, freak it down, freak it down.